back out here at Valparaiso High School. Nathan Laird and Nate Ramian with you. Justin Cole is our on-site producer. Ben Tamara on the camera. Mike DeWine helping us out here as well. Thank you for tuning in here on a Tuesday evening, game night in the region. Some DAC baseball, Crown Point and Valpo about to square off the first of back-to-back games between these two. That's the Duneland setup Nate and I were talking about earlier. Play one game on Tuesday, then you switch sites, play again on Wednesday, weather permitting, of course. So tomorrow these two teams will meet up at Crown Point High School. And Nate, you talked about how you like that format earlier this year. And you got a good one tonight that unfortunately we weren't able to get on the coverage schedule. But you got a huge DAC series tonight, as starting tonight as LaPorte goes to Lake Central, two teams at the top of the standings.
Again, both have two really good pitchers. They're both going to be going probably at each other tonight. And again, we'll see if that one goes to extra innings or who takes that big step in the DAC.
Yeah, and so that's going to be interesting to follow. This series is going to be interesting to follow. Both teams need to, these teams, especially Crown Point and Valpo at 2-4 on the season. There's plenty of season left. You can't say they're out of it just yet. Both these teams could really, really use a sweep of the two-game series.
Yeah, again, with the weather here, you got to be ready to go every night. And there's going to be some nights where you got to play a doubleheader. We did that last year against Valpo. Every game matters. Every DAC game matters. It goes by so fast. And it takes one through how many are in your dugout to win these games, because winning in the DAC is not easy. It takes every play matters, every hit, every pitch, it all comes down together.
Yeah, and we'll go over the lineups here in just a few minutes. We gave them to you already. We'll give them to you once again as Crown Point finishing their warm-ups. They had a bus issue delaying their arrival. I think they still got to see some of the trophies and everything, though, when they walked in.
I think it was somehow put behind their dugout.
That's weird.
I'm not sure who did that or why that was there, but I think the trophy case was behind the Crown Point dugout for some reason.
Let's take a look at the Valpo defensive alignment for you. You see that on screen. We're playing with some new graphics here. Like I said, we got some new streaming software, so we're going to be showing you guys some new graphics, trying to do some new stuff for you. Max, the outfield left to right, Max Ream, Miles Felbar, and Ian Wilson. The infield third to first was Andres Guzman, DJ Malloy, Trent Gill, and Trevor Fenters. Caden Kroll on the hill for the Vikings, throwing to Nate Broomfields. Caden Kroll on the season, 1-1. He's pitched 7 innings so far this year. He's given up 8 runs, a 6.00 ERA, 12 strikeouts compared to just 6 walks, but Nate's at an even 2.
Yeah, again,
that's a number he's got to get down.
A lot of these high numbers were from last outing against Lake Central.
Right.
But most teams are going to have a rough pitching performance against Lake Central.
Right, we saw that for Valpo last week against the Indians. Valpo gave up 11 one night and then 13 runs the next when they were at LC. So again, Lake Central is going to put up a lot of runs on a lot of teams. The Crown Point batting order will look like this. Luke Burford leads things off, plays short. Blake Sabau is the first baseman. He hits second. Austin Leeming, the left fielder, hits third. Jace Horton is the catcher. He's the cleanup hitter. Chris Gloff, the DH, hits fifth. Connor Cotton in right field hits sixth. Noah Ehrlich plays third and hits seventh. J.J. Johnson patrols center field, and he hits eighth. And Caleb Schoonover rounds out Steve Strayer's lineup, playing second base. For the Bulldogs, we'll find their stat sheet here. Chris Gloff, the DH, hitting .269 with a .733 OPS. One of the better hitters in this order. Blake Sabau, the first baseman, .345 and .866 OPS. He's driven in 4. Ryan Radonovich, who's pitching today, leads the team with 10 RBIs, but we're not going to see him in the lineup.
Yeah, that's interesting because the way Coach Strayer did his lineup, he could maybe enter him later as the DH spot. So if he takes the other guy out, he can enter that spot to hit. But the way Radonovich is pitching this year, his ERA is 0.
Yeah, he's been outstanding. He's 1-0. This is his 6th appearance. He's thrown 15 innings. He's given up 6 hits. He's given up 1 run. It was not earned, so Nate did the math there. 0 ERA. 17 strikeouts compared to just 8 walks. 0.93, so less than a runner on average per inning gets on base against Ryan Radonovich.
And they're only hitting .96 against him.
Wow.
So,
and again, for a Valpo lineup that we've been talking about, those bats need to wake up a little bit. You're going up against the ace of this Crown Point staff.
Again, this might come into let's do some small ball a little bit.
Right.
Put the ball in play. Put the pressure on both teams here, and let's see who can make the less mistakes. Will win this game.
Does the turf still play a factor, or has it been long enough with Lake Central having it a couple years for Valpo and the amount of off-season work these guys get into? Does the playing surface give the home team any sort of advantage anymore?
I think it does because you're on it every day. Crown Point has to play on grass.
Right.
If it's raining or something, it's raining or it was raining earlier in the day, it's muddy, you can't get on there, and these guys can. And so they know how to field the bunts. Stuff's going to skip in the outfield, so the outfield's got to do a really good job of cutting the ball off in the gaps, and the home field advantage will play into effect here.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't know, like I said, with it being more commonplace, if we're seeing, since more teams have it, you're used to it, but I agree. The home team is definitely going to have an advantage. Looks like we got Larry Babcock behind home plate, so.
He must not have a volleyball game tonight. He is the Portage volleyball coach. He
is. And Larry's a friend of the program, so if we take any shots at him, they're all in jest, or at least we can tell him that. It's time for our national anthem. Our national anthem as we're set for baseball here from Valpo. I keep wanting to say Viking Field, and we are on top of the press box at Viking Field. I don't know if we can transfer that name over.
For today, we can.
Okay. We're at Viking Field. Again, we're celebrating the football team as well, so we can call it the Viking Diamond for today as Valpo gets set to take the field against Crown Point, and Luke Burford going to lead things off. Had a chance to talk to his dad before the game, who is a member of the coaching staff of Valpo football. So he was out there with his Valpo coaching gear on, but then he said right after the ceremony he was going to have to switch and put his Crown Point gear on and support his son.
That's kind of the cool things about region football and region sports is so many different coaches and players live in different towns. So you've got to be ready to go with your kid, your employer.
As they go through the lineups here, we'll give you our Economy Electric Heating and Cooling first pitch forecast, brought to you by friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. Right now here in Valparaiso, it's 55 degrees, sunny skies. The sun will continue for the rest until it goes down, so we're not going to have any cloud coverage coming in. That makes sense. The sun will continue until it goes down.
I hope so.
I know my weather. Tonight's going to get into the 40s, but no chance of rain. Winds around 8 miles an hour, so pretty beautiful night here for baseball from Valparaiso as Caden Kroll gets set to take his final warm-up pitches. And again, Nate, we talked about last rough outing last time against Lake Central. How important is it for him and for this team for him to turn things around tonight?
It is gigantic for them. he is their leader on the mound and leader as a whole, so they go as he goes, and
just a sophomore.
And he's just a sophomore. So that's awesome for him to have that responsibility this young, and just to know the team will be on his back and we're ready to go to defend him at all costs here.
So time for some baseball here from Valpo as Burford steps into the box. There, Babcock's telling Kroll to hold up. Here's the first pitch from Kroll. I don't know if he got a piece of that. It was definitely off the catcher's mask for a strike.
He likes to mix up speeds a lot. He has a really good changeup. He likes to live that. He lives down with that. So
the 0-1. Big swing and a miss. Burford quickly down 0-2. The 0-2. Joss gets a piece of that one, fouls that one back to the fence. Count will stay at 0-2.
So he's been hard, slow, hard to hard. So let's see if he mixes something up here. In, out, or he goes right at him still, 0-2.
The 0-2 is in the dirt. Going to be 1-2. Burford, Sabal, and Leeming are the scheduled hitters for Crown Point. Caden Kroll on the hill for the Vikings. The 1-2. Catcher is able to hold on to it. Strike number 3. And for Caden Kroll, who needed a nice bounce-back game, that's a good way to get started, Nate.
Yeah, again, he was a lot of strikes there and right after these batters and challenging them, making them hit his good stuff.
That'll bring up Blake Sabau, the first baseman. First pitch misses low, 1-0.
It's always cool after there's an event like this and the other teams stay and support the other teams.
Absolutely. We see a lot of the football players here. A lot of them wearing RSN shirts. We had some RSN shirt giveaways for them. Big swing and a miss. Count at 1-1. Waiting for these lights. The lights aren't on yet, but I'm waiting for them to take effect. We will see that tonight, but you were telling me how cool the lights were.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss there. And you can see with every pitch, every swing and miss, Kroll's gaining some of that confidence.
He just has that swagger to him.
Right.
He's got that confidence that.
And he's working in really good, he's got a really good rhythm going here.
Yeah.
The 1-2 inside. Gonna go even at 2-2. They don't have dimensions on the fence here at Valpo, but the straightaway center doesn't look too deep, but the gaps
the gaps are gigantic.
The gaps are gigantic.
And the ball with the turf, it'll roll forever.
Yeah. You see that a lot at Lake Central. Sabau just gets a piece of it to stay alive at 2-2.
A couple years ago, there was a kid from Lake Central that he broke the triples record.
I'm
gonna have to get back to that one.
Hopefully Jeff Sander is watching. He can text me.
I hope he is. But it just rolled in the gaps. He lived right center, and it just rolled. He broke this. I think it was the Indiana triples record.
Yeah. The 2-2 from Kroll. High and inside. Count is full.
As that sun goes down, you're going to see how the right side of the field will take effect here.
Yeah, you can see the shadows kind of keep creeping across. The 3-2. Got him looking. Strike number 3. 2 hitters, 2 strikeouts for Caden Kroll.
He just went fastball there. Looked like it was away a little bit, and he just blew it by him.
So that'll bring up Austin Leeming, the left fielder. First pitch swinging, pops it up out of play.
One of the keys of getting to Kroll early is you got to swing at the fastball. Let the other stuff go and attack that fastball.
Leeming on the season, hitting .500. This is his 8th game. 4 for 8 on the season. Looks at a strike. 0-2 the count. Strike number 3. Caden Kroll strikes out the side. It's exactly what he and the Vikings needed to get this one going. We're going to the bottom of the first. Valpo and Crown Point are scoreless. You're watching high school baseball on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. The batting lineup for the Vikings here as they start things off in the bottom of the first. Leading things off is the second baseman, Trent Gill. He'll be followed by Miles Svelbar, the center fielder. Caden Kroll, the pitcher, hits third. Andres Guzman, the third baseman, is the cleanup hitter. Nate Brunfield, the catcher, hits fifth. Max Ream plays left, and he hits sixth. Ian Wilson hits seventh, playing right fielder. His first baseman, Trevor Fenters, hits eighth and plays first. And DJ Malloy, the shortstop, rounds things out for Todd Evans' Valparaiso Vikings. The Crown Point defense will look like this. The outfield from left to right is Austin Leeming, J.J. Johnson, and Connor Cotton. The infield, third to first, is Noah Ehrlich, Luke Burford, Caleb Schoonover, Blake Sabow. Ryan Radonovich, he of the 0.00 ERA on the hill, throwing to Jace Horton. And Nate, we got an answer to that question we were asking about. Your dad came through.
Zach Turnbow.
Thanks. Doug Nelson, Johnny on the spot. As always, I shouldn't be surprised there that Doug quickly had the answer to that one.
Don't expect any more.
Don't expect any more?
I would not expect anything else.
Wow.
He would know that.
He would, but he's a knowledgeable human being.
Yeah. I agree.
Nate taking shots there at his family.
No, that was a good one. I said he would know that.
But you said he wouldn't know any more than that.
I did not need.
Come on, Nate. Don't be taking shots now.
Be getting a text in about 3, 2, 1.
How long is the delay till we get till it gets online? About 30 seconds. Then you'll be getting that as Trent Gill leads things off for the Vikings. He's going to IU. He's a commit for the Hoosiers on the season, hitting .375. Looks at the first pitch, which misses low, ball one. And just a freshman. Already committed to go play ball for the Hoosiers. Second pitch for Radonovich. Misses outside, 2-0.
And that text came through.
There it went. Probably not something you can read on air. There's a shot past a diving Burford into left field for a base hit. Trent Gill. Ty Gill was his brother. Gets things started off right for the Vikings. First hit of the ball game.
Kind of what we talked about earlier. You got to lay off the guy's secondary pitches. Hit the fastball. Don't let him get deep in their counts. Hit the fastball early, then you can control that.
Looks like they're not putting the hits on screen, but we'll keep track of them. As Miles Svelbar up next for the Vikings. Looks at a strike. Svelbar hitting .353. He's driven in 3. He has one extra base hit, which was a double on the season. Throw back to first. Gill back in plenty of time. Just the 7th hit of the season given up by Ryan Radonovich in 15-plus innings pitched. Big hack comes up empty. Svelbar down 0-2.
Gill does have 3 stolen bases on the year. So that's coming back from Coach Strayer's got that scouting report. Everyone knows each other.
Right.
They played with each other in the summer. They know everyone's tendencies here.
Radonovich looking in 0-2. Misses inside. Count is 1-2. Gill 3 stolen bases in 5 attempts on the season. And like you said, they maybe not with 2 strikes, but this time where you look to play small ball. Just advance that runner any way you can. Way upstairs. Count even at 2-2. Radonovich taking his time in between pitches. Getting the signal from Horton. The 2-2. So runner takes off, swing and a miss. What do they say? Yep. Oh, no, they strike him out, throw him out, and Gill looked confused there. Gill thought it was a foul ball, I think, because he definitely slowed up.
But even if the catcher catches it, it's game on.
Right.
So he probably thought it went away, and that's just a freshman mistake there.
Yeah.
You got to just go through it. Make the umpire get you go back. Just get to the base and make the umpire not let you stay there.
Because he definitely took some stutter steps there, like he thought it was a dead ball. As here comes Caden Kroll. Fouls off the first pitch.
I'm sure Coach Evans will have some words with him.
Yeah.
Just to remind him.
Fouls that one back to the fence, 0-2.
But that's some momentum that Crown Point's got to build off of.
Right. You give up the leadoff single, but then your defense steps up and gets the caught stealing. Aided out by a mental mistake, but still, you're able to take advantage. Swing and a miss, strike 3. We've had 6 outs so far in this game. 5 of them have been of the strikeout variety. Through 1 complete. Crown Point scoreless, Valpo scoreless. We'll be back with the top of the second here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Scheduled hitters for Crown Point in the top of the second is Jace Horton, Chris Gloff, and Connor Cotton. That's the 4, 5, and 6 hitters in the order as Caden Kroll struck out the side the last time up. 5 strikeouts combined between the first 2 pitchers in that first inning. Nate, we got ourselves a pitcher's duel in store tonight.
Yeah, again, a lot of these guys, they throw a lot of strikes. So that you got to be ready to go in the box. You can't take many pitches. Hit the first fastball you see and don't miss it.
As Kroll's last warm-up pitch went way high.
To the backstop.
Thankfully, Coach Steve Strayer paused before he walked across because that could have been ugly.
It's good to see Coach out there.
Absolutely.
A couple years ago, he had a little health issue. Glad to see. He's one of the best around.
Yeah, he's a great coach, great guy. Always like talking baseball with Coach Strayer.
Every time I see him, he still reminds me what happened in my sectional final game. We'll get to that later.
Oh, I was gonna say what happened. Don't leave us hanging.
We were winning early against Crown Point, of course, and I'm on first, and our best player, Tony Checky, went to Michigan State. He actually swung and missed, and the bat flew into the crowd.
Oh.
As I'm standing on first base watching the bat, all-state catcher Jose Andrade picks me up at first. And
Did that end the game?
No, it was like in the 4th.
Okay.
And after that, we got like a double, and the wheels fell off. But Coach Strayer still
reminds you of that?
Lets me hear about it.
It's harsh, man.
Hey. Sectional final, too.
The 1-1. Kroll took something off that one. 1-2 to Horton. The 1-2 in there. Horton looks at strike 3.
Looks like that was a backdoor curveball there. Kroll's got everything working tonight.
That's his 4th strikeout in just as many hitters faced. And that will bring up Chris Gloff, the designated hitter. Hitting .269. He's got a pair of doubles, 2 RBIs. He's drawn 3 walks. Looks at a strike. He has struck out in 4 times in 33 plate appearances, so
it's a good sign he's going to put the ball in play.
Yeah. The 0-1 misses low, count even at 1-1.
You look at where he's at in the box. He is on top of the plate. Look at that front foot. He's on it. He makes you challenge him.
He's been hit by a pitch twice this year in 10 games played. 2-1. Trying to think who the young man is for Lake Central, who gets hit by a ton of pitches. Catcher. Maybe your dad will come through with that one too. 2-1. Gloff fouls it back to the fence. Count even at 2-2. Stay with us after the game. We'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the game. That's brought to you by the Crowell Companies. They're the insurance superheroes and are proud to recognize the superheroes on the baseball diamond. Part of me thinks we'll be picking between two pitchers for that award. Strike 3 looking. 5th strikeout of the game for Caden Kroll. Now to bring up Connor Cotton. Nate, what's he doing to completely fool these Crown Point hitters? Because out of his 5 Ks, 3 of them have been of the looking variety.
He really mixed up his pitches well. They all come from the same angle, so you got to be ready to go fast. And with his lefty, he really hides everything. So you got till from here to half the way to the mound to know how fast you got to go. Everything looks the same until the last second.
First pitch to Cotton is a strike. And as we talked about in the top of the first, he's got good rhythm on the mound. That one misses low. He's not letting the hitter throw off his sense of timing or anything. They are working on his pace, and he's controlling the tempo there on the mound.
Yeah, you're the pitcher. That's your job. You're going to run the game.
1-1 swing and a miss. And if he's able to locate that off-speed stuff and still have that electric fastball, it's going to be a long day for these Crown Point hitters.
Yeah.
The 1-2 gets him square in the back. Connor Cotton's going to head down to first the hard way.
Again, that's one of those, you're up in the count, there's 2 outs. Just go right at him.
Right.
Don't try to get so fancy. No one's touched you yet.
For Cotton, that's the 3rd time this season he's been hit by a pitch. And for Kroll, that's the first hitter he's hit this year. So runner on 2 outs for Noah Ehrlich, the third baseman. Noah hitting .222 on the season. He's driven in 4. He's got 1 double, 2 walks compared to 4 strikeouts.
He's a big add-on to this team, him moving in.
Yeah, to this team, to the school's athletic program. Outstanding quarterback for the Hobart Brickies the last couple years. Looks at strike 1. And we hear the Valpo football fans are reminding him where he used to play at, and a little bit trash, complete off speed. And the Viking football players that are here really getting into giving Noah Ehrlich a little bit of the business here.
That's the fun part about it.
It's fun.
It's DAC. There's other sports cheering on other sports. It's awesome.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. Ehrlich down on strikes. 3 more strikeouts for Caden Kroll. He's got 6 of them through 2 innings. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. Valpo Crown Point still scoreless here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Vikings to bat here in the bottom of the 2nd. Scheduled hitters for Gang Green include Andres Guzman, Nate Brunfield, and Max Ream. 1 hit in the top of the 1st, but their runner was caught stealing, so they were not able to make anything out of it. 2 strikeouts for Ryan Radonovich in that bottom of the 1st inning. The lights are not on yet here, but I assume we're going to see them turned on soon.
They are on.
They are on. Okay. Oh, okay. I see it now.
The low ones are on. You can see them.
Got it.
Because they're instants.
Okay. It doesn't take time for them to warm up and everything.
No.
You can tell I'm excited. I am.
I can tell. I think
You built my hopes up, Nate.
one of the first schools to have these was Highland a couple years ago. They
Okay.
went to these new ones. It adds so much to it.
Guzman swings at the first pitch, chops it over to first. Sabal fields it himself, flips it to Radonovich, covering the bag. One pitch, one out, 3-1 on the putout for out number one. Bring up Nate Broomfield. Broomfield, a .467 hitter on the season. 3 runs driven in. He has a double.
He does lead the team in hits with 7.
Valpo has a team looking for their first home run of the season. Big swing and a miss, strike one. I don't know if today's the day you're going to get one. Really not much wind to speak of. It's not that warm outside.
You got 2 really good pitchers going at it.
And you got a pitcher on the hill for Crown Point who hasn't given up an earned run all season.
Yeah.
And Radonovich picking up his tempo here. Ground ball up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Nate Broomfield picks up the second Viking hit of the evening. A 1-out single puts one on with 1 out for Max Ream.
Nice.
We got a
this
courtesy
nice
runner.
rule I got with the catcher.
Yeah.
Time the catcher gets on, you get an automatic runner to speed up the game.
Coming in 2-run for the Vikings is Philip Amons. As Max Ream, as I mentioned, comes to the plate. Ream hitting .462. 1 hit behind, or now 2 hits behind Broomfield with 6 hits on the season. He's driven in 4. He's got a pair of doubles. See if he can move that runner on. Second runner on so far in this game for the Vikings. Looks at a strike.
You see the right fielder really shading with his glove in hand, trying to block that sun.
Yeah.
Something at him could be interesting.
We also see the center fielder shading over to left. There's a huge gap in right center if Ream is able to take it the other way. High in the zone, called a strike, 0-2, gets the top part of it.
A lot of these teams, again, like I said earlier, they have the scouting reports. They know
Right.
where most of the teams go and where the hitters' tendencies are.
Radonovich gets the sign from Horton. As the runner takes off, Radonovich steps off. They're going to have him in a rundown. And it looks like another Valpo base running error as Burford's going to hit the tag on, caught stealing once again. And Amons was taken off, and I think that the dugout had to yell to Radonovich, he's going, because he didn't notice him at first.
He did a really good job of not panicking on the mound
Right.
and not balking. He just stayed calm and listened to his teammates and stepped off.
And just like that, 0-2, 2 outs. Ground ball to Burford. Over to first in plenty of time for out number 3 in the innings. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, no runners left on base after the caught stealing attempt. We're going to the top of the third. Still scoreless here between Crown Point and Valpo on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Scheduled hitters for Crown Point in the top of the third include J.J. Johnson, Caleb Schoonover, and Luke Burford. That's the 8, 9, 1 spots in the order. As Caden Kroll has faced 7 hitters, he's struck out 6 of them and hit another one with a pitch. So he's been dominant so far here early in this ball game, Nate. And we were talking in between innings. Crown Point's got to do something to change up that tempo, that rhythm that he's found.
Yeah, they got to start calling time, step out of the box, break that rhythm that he has, make it on your time. You cannot let him dictate everything in this game. And that's why he's such a good pitcher, because he just does it.
Right. First pitch to Johnson is a strike. J.J. Johnson, as we talked about, the quarterback of the outstanding Crown Point football team this year, went undefeated in the regular season. There's strike number 2.
He's just mixing up pitches well. He goes fastball, a lot of curve, change. So he's not predictable.
No. Johnson hitting 185 on the season. And he gets hit in the back of the leg on an 0-2 pitch. That is both hitters that Kroll has hit have come with a 2-strike count.
It's kind of, he's overthrown a little bit. He's
Right.
trying to just rear back and say,
And get that decisive K.
Yeah.
I'm going to blow you away on for strike 3. And that's not a guy you necessarily want there on first base. J.J. Johnson. He's got a couple stolen bases on the year. He's 2 for 2 for stolen bases, but we've seen him run on the football field. He's got some wheels.
He's a lefty. With the lefty here, he's going to have a shorter lead, a one-way lead.
As Schoonover shows bunt, pulls it back, takes ball 1.
So with that, the second baseman went and covered. Third baseman was charging as well.
Yeah, Valpo ready for that bunt as Kroll steps off the rubber, gets back on.
This could be a big part in this game with 9-hole hitter bringing up to the top of the order
Right.
again.
Pickoff attempt over. It gets away from the first baseman, Fenters. Johnson going to head to second on the E1.
Again, he's trying to overdo it a little bit.
Right. He really just kind of spiked that one. That Fenters didn't have much of a chance at all.
No, but you got to figure out a way to, if you're Fenters, you got to block it up.
Yeah.
You got to keep that in front of you. Keep that runner at first. Who cares? Just lay on it.
If you're Crown Point, you have to take advantage of this situation here as there's a strike. Count even at 1-1. Again, what we think is going to be a pitcher's duel, which has played out that way so far. Anytime you get a runner on second, especially at the bottom of the order, nobody out, when the lineup card's about to turn over, you got to take advantage and bring that runner home.
You got to go right now. This is one of the maybe few opportunities you're going to have.
The 1-1 in there, nice block by Broomfield. Because Johnson was ready to take off on that one. Cruz into third, but he's going to stay at second. 2-1 the count. Caleb Schoonover. A 208 hitter. He's driven in 3 runs on the season. 4 would give the Bulldogs a 1-0 lead. That one's going to get away from Broomfield, and Johnson's going to head into third. That hit the glove, Nate?
Yes.
Do you call that a pass ball? Or do you think it was so far outside that?
No, that was a wild pitch.
That was a wild pitch? Okay.
He's got to calm down here. I think if he walks him, I think you'll see a visit from Coach Evans. Or the catcher should go out there, just calm him down a little bit.
3-1 is ball 4. We're going to have runners at the corners. Nobody out for the Bulldogs here. In the top of third, and you're right. The catcher, Nate Broomfield, is going to come out and talk to Caden Kroll.
So honestly, he just gave us a first and third sign of, tells his team what's going to happen here. If he runs, what am I doing?
Brings up Luke Burford, who struck out, swinging his first time up to lead off this game. Pops it up, shallow right field. Gill gives chase, but it's going to be Ian Wilson calls him off. He's not able to make the play. Johnson's going to score. And it looked like Gill had a beat on that one, but he gave way to the right fielder, who I think lost it in the sun at the last minute.
We talked about earlier, that right side is deadly right now with that sun. You got to take charge, though. Just go catch the ball.
Schoonover advances to second. Burford to first on the error. And we're going to have a full-on meeting. Who do you give the arrow to there?
It didn't touch anyone's glove.
They put an error on the board. Or do you give that a hit?
I think it sounds wild, but that's got to be a hit, I think. It didn't tip off anyone's glove. It was just bad communication.
I'll go with Nate. We're going to call that a hit.
Who's the error on?
The right fielder, if anybody.
We'll go with the hometown scoreboard here.
We'll go with the Valpo's going to give their own guys an error. We'll stick with an error. But for Crown Point, which really had nothing going offensively in the first couple innings, taking advantage of these Valpo miscues.
Again, Kroll needs to settle down here and go back to what he was doing the first couple innings. Throw those strikes. But Crown Point's really doing a good job.
Brings up Blake Sabow. Chopper right back to Kroll. Over to second. Bounces in the dirt. Nice block by Gill, who's able to make the turn. A 1-4-3 double play. Doesn't get Valpo out of the jam entirely, but it makes life a little bit easier for Caden Kroll.
Still he kind of rushed the throw to second base a little bit.
Gill made a nice play to
get
job. That and then to scoop that one up.
Because you know that runner's coming hard.
Right.
His job is to break up that double play.
First pitch swinging. Ground ball to second, fielded by Gill. Over to first, retires Leeming. 4-3 on the putout. In the inning, there was one run on no hits, 2 errors, and a runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. Crown Point leads Valpo 1-0 here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Back here at Valparaiso High School, Nathan Laird, Nate Ramian with you. Our executive producer is Chris Ramirez. We got a whole cast of characters out here with you. Ben Tamara on the camera, Justin Cole handling some of the production work. Mike DeWine also working on some production for us as well. His first assignment, we're already throwing him on the computer, making him produce, doing a fantastic job. And we got a 1-0 ball game. Crown Point with 1 run. Without the aid of a hit, they took advantage of a hit by pitch, a couple Valpo errors, and a wild pitch to bring a run across in the top of the third. And if you're Crown Point, you obviously want some insurance ones, but you have a pitcher on the mound who hasn't given up a single earned run all season, in Ryan Radonovich.
Again, Crown Point's doing a good job of what's given to them. They're putting the ball in play.
Ian Wilson smacks that to left field. It's going to drop in front of Leeming. Leadoff single for the Vikings. Their third hit of the game. Now they just got to make sure they don't make those errors, those miscues on the base paths.
Yeah, they got to capitalize here. They've gotten runners on every inning, but they just can't they make silly mistakes on the bases.
It's the second time in 3 innings that the leadoff man has gotten on for the Vikings, and that brings up Trevor Fenters, the first baseman. Run around first, nobody out for the Vikings. We'll see what Fenters does here. Shows bunts.
Oh.
They're going to say he got a piece of it, though, I think, because they're sending Wilson back to first.
If you're going to sack bunt here, you got to scoot up in the box and show early. Like, you know what you're doing. Just do your job right now.
Fenter's a 125 hitter.
Like, he's squaring up early.
High and inside. Throwback to first. Wilson back in plenty of time. Radonovich just backing him off the plate there.
He's got a lead.
Yeah.
He's probably amped up.
1-1 the count to the number 8 hitter for the Vikings. DJ Malloy on deck. Throw over to first. Wilson back in time. Just joining us, we talked to a handful of the Valpo captains from the 2022 state champion football team. They got their rings here tonight. We'll post some pictures and some on-field ceremony later. It's awesome rings. Bunt goes foul, 1-2.
Those were magnificent.
Yeah.
It was nice that everyone got one. The chain gang,
right? All the managers, everybody involved,
everyone
with the success of that team got.
Because it takes everyone to get there.
Yep. They want to double up the festivities tonight with a baseball win. Runner takes off. No, he does not. He heads back, swing and a miss. Fenter's down on strikes for out number 1. Third strikeout of the game for Radonovich, and that brings up DJ Malloy, the shortstop.
We'll see if the bunt's still on here with the top up next. Gale's been hitting really well so far this year, so try to get someone in scoring position with him up to the plate.
Malloy, a 286 hitter. Fastball misses inside, backs him off the plate a little bit. Ball's going to get past the first baseman.
It actually went in the dugout.
Yeah, because the runner Wilson wasn't going to get up and take off, but it goes in the dugout and
out of play, so you get a free bag.
so now it's Crown Point making some miscues here in the third inning.
Let's see if Valpo can take advantage of this now.
1-0 to DJ Malloy, the number 9 hitter in the order. Kick in the pitch high and inside, 2-0. Wilson, no stolen bases on the season. I think he's going to be content staying at second for the time being.
Yeah, you don't want to have
make that out
a third base running blunder
in just as many innings.
Yeah.
As Malloy looked at strike 1, 2-1. This next pitch will be number 30 for Radonovich. Kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, spending some of your Tuesday night with us here on the Region Sports Network, whether you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or regionsports.com or ihsatv.org/regionsports. Thanks for spending your Tuesday night with us, your game night in the region, as that one's fouled back. They're almost done with the field behind us, so hopefully that noise will be going away shortly.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of upkeeping that football field back there. Big old track meet tomorrow.
There's always a big old DAC track meet going on. There's a few of them tonight.
Always.
Radonovich taking his time for this 2-2. Strike 3 looking. Larry Babcock punches up DJ Malloy.
He did a good job there of mixing
Larry?
up speeds. Larry did a good job as well. But Radonovich there was mixing up speeds and went with something a little slower there.
Back to the top of the order with Trent Gill, who singled to lead off the bottom of the first inning. But got caught running on the base paths. See if he can bring home this Valpo run here. They have 3 hits, no runs to show for it. Looks at strike 1. We got 3 awards we're going to hand out after the game. We already talked about that Crowell Company's Lantern Man Superhero of the game. We'll mention one of the other ones after this pitch. And the turf, nice block by Horton. We also have the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the game, brought to you by friends at Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn. That's one of those tough, gritty players. In baseball, we always like to give the leg up to the catchers on that one. Pickoff attempt over at second. It goes into center field. But coach is going to hold up Wilson at second base as Johnson was all over that one. We also have our proud Union home play of the game brought to you by the Indiana Regional Council of Carpenters. Build your future at ikorcc.com. I don't think we've seen that yet.
Depending how this game goes, it could be that pop fly.
That's true. Donovich looks like the runner. Here's the 1-1. This is high, 2-1. To the future Indiana Hoosier, Trent Gill. He said his brother's playing college ball as well, right?
His brother's at Purdue.
Uh-oh. Well, they're not going to be in college at the same time. As I say, we'll have a rivalry, but Trent only a freshman, so he's got a long career here at Valpo ahead of him. Swing and a miss, 2-2 the count, and Radanovic one strike away from getting out of this jam. Looks at the runner. Swing and a miss, strike number 3. Some high heat there to strike him out. And after the leadoff single for Wilson, 3 straight strikeouts for Ryan Radanovic. Gets out of the inning. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner left on. We are through 3 complete. Crown Point leads Valpo 1-0 here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Here come the Bulldogs to bat in the top of the 4th inning. Scheduled hitters for CP include Jace Horton, Chris Gloff, and Connor Cotton. That's the 4, 5, and 6 spots in the order. See if they can add on to their 1-run lead here in this DAC showdown. The first of back-to-back nights. The Bulldogs and the Vikings will square off. First pitch swinging, ground ball 2 short. Fielded by Malloy. Airmails the throw into the dugout. And an E6 puts Jace Horton on second base. That might have been a case of having too much time to make that throw.
Yeah, again, you got to just come through it and make a simple routine play there.
So for Valpo, that's the 3rd error of this ball game already. So we got a courtesy runner coming in. I did not get that number. 22, it looks like. Is that Blake Newell, if that's 22?
Can't see. So we'll see with Crown Point here. We'll play some small ball to get that runner over.
The Bulldogs still without a hit officially in this ball game. One that ruled an error on the board. Thought could maybe go either way, but we kept that with the home scoreboard here. As Chris Gloff now steps to the plate, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Shows bunt, lays it down. It's a beautiful one. Slow roller, and the third baseman, Andres Guzman, even if he fields that cleanly,
that's a hit.
I don't think he has a play. That's a hit. And we got runners at the corners. Nobody out. First hit of the ball game for the Bulldogs there. They called that.
Nope.
No, we're gonna disagree on that one. Call that one a hit. I think even if he fields that cleanly,
that's a perfect location.
Yeah.
Perfect bunt. That was just because it went under his glove. I get it. But no matter what, he was going to be safe there.
Brings up Connor Cotton, hit by a pitch. His only plate appearance. And he's hit by a pitch again. The 3rd hit by pitch of the game for Caden Kroll. He had 0 coming into today's action, Nate.
You get a big-time DAC game, get a big-time festivities pregame. You're not starting at the normal time. You have a lot of time to sit around and not watch, but just.
But it's weird because he absolutely cruised through those first 2 innings. 6 strikeouts in those first 2 innings.
Once the game, you get in the flow of the game.
But like what we talked about as well, I don't know how Crown Point hasn't been stepping out a ton, but once he's been thrown out of his rhythm with those hit by pitch, with some of those defensive miscues, that it looks just to be in his head now.
Sure. He just got to settle down a little bit and relax. You're going to be okay. It's only a 1-run game right now.
Here's Noah Ehrlich, bases loaded, nobody out, 0 for 1.
You see the way the defense is. Middles are back, so something up the middle, they're still going to try and turn 2.
They'll trade the run for 2 outs.
Yeah, corners will go home, but middles will still try to turn 2 here.
Swing and a miss by Ehrlich on that first pitch. Fly ball hit to left field. Ream runs over. Cannot make the play in foul territory. 0-2 to Ehrlich. You notice the Valpo football players a little bit quieter this time.
Yeah.
One of their coaches came over and talked to him, and it's like, hey, guys, we have to play him in football next year, too.
We still got to play him.
Right. Don't give them any bulletin board material.
I think it's just kids having fun.
The 0-2's line 2 left field. That's tailing foul. Ehrlich was looking at extra bases on that one, and 2, possibly 3 runs coming in.
Yeah. He's doing a good job of just fouling it off. He's got a battle here. Something off speed, something in the dirt here. Catcher's got to do a great job of blocking it up.
What do you think Kroll throws him?
I think it's something off speed. Because he went 4 fastballs in a row.
Gets the sign from Broomfield. Here's the 0-2.
Yep.
Over his head, back to the fence. Takes not much room in the backstop there, though, and Broomfield all over it is the runner at third. That is 23. I thought it was 22. At least got one of the 2s right.
Good guess.
I don't have a 23 on my roster. Oh, no, 13. So I was way off.
Never mind.
Farinelli. The 1-2 to Ehrlich. Chopper to first. They're going to make the play at home. They get the force at home. Nice play by Fenters to get the force at home. I thought he was taking a big risk there. 3-2 on the putout. Fielder's choice. Farinelli out at home. Ehrlich will stay on first, out number 1.
Again, the defense did their job there. He threw strikes. Let's see. They're one pitch getting out of this.
Like you said, the corner's ready to come home. I thought with that high chop, though, he didn't have much of a chance, but he got that throw in, and here's J.J. Johnson.
One pitch, we're getting out of this. That's some big momentum here. This is a big spot in this game, I think.
51 pitches now for Caden Kroll. Johnson was hit by a pitch, ended up coming around to score back in the 3rd inning. Looks at a pitch outside, 2-0. Nowhere to put him. You got to throw strikes.
He's got to come after you right now.
Two-0, swing and a miss. 2-1. Johnson's driven in 4. He's got a pair of doubles. I think with his speed, he's got a chance to beat out any potential double play. Swing and a miss. Got to get something in play, though.
With this turf, it really gets on you fast.
That's true. That is true.
But you still got to touch the ball to put it in play.
Yeah. Kroll's fought back in this at bat. He was down 2-0. Count even at 2-2. That one fouled out of play. Johnson stays alive. Schoonover on deck should the inning stay alive for the Bulldogs. And Crown Point can really bust this game open, or Valpo can swing big momentum back to their side by getting out of this jam. Kroll with a 2-2. Misses outside. The count is full.
The 8-hole hitter here. Just go right at him.
We'll see what Kroll throws here on a full count. And that one's hit deep to right center, but it's going to be tracked down by Ian Wilson, deep enough to score the run from third. As Gloff stomps on the plate, it's 2-0 Bulldogs. Sack fly by J.J. Johnson, who did his job out of the 8th spot.
Yep, did a great job of scoring the run. Something on the right side of the field.
That one looked like it was going to travel farther off the bat.
It kind of just died.
It really did. I wonder, again, if it's a warmer day, if it's still daytime, the sun was still out. I think that one might travel a little bit further, but either way for the Bulldogs, it's another run. That puts runners at the corners and 2 outs for Caleb Schoonover, who walked his last time up. And with Radonovich on the hill the way he's throwing,
run.
Yeah, you're feeling comfortable, not great, but a little bit of breathing room with 2 runs. High and inside. The runner's going to take off for second. Ehrlich heads into second base, so now it's pair of runners in scoring position with 2 outs. Fouled by the Crown Point dugout, 1-1. See people are coming back from their cars with blankets and extra coats and everything.
When that sun went down, it dropped about 10 or so degrees.
I told you it'll stay light until the sun goes down.
Yeah.
It'll stay warm until the sun goes down, too.
I did. We're outside. We are outside.
Yeah,
so.
we're outside. We're on top of the football press box. I did not bring another sweatshirt, so I'm using my natural body warmth. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. It's probably more information than you wanted to know, but
You'll be all right.
yeah, I'll live. One and two to Schoonover. Kroll steps off the mound.
This is a big spot again. This is a 9-hole hitter. You want to get out of this. Go right at him.
And if you're Valpo, you're not happy about being down 2-0, but to get out of bases loaded, nobody out jamming, only giving up 1 in this inning, you're feeling pretty good about that result.
Yeah.
Strike 3 looking, and Caden Kroll limits the damage in the inning for Crown Point. There was 1 run on just 1 hit, no errors, and a couple runners left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's the Bulldogs 2, Vikings nothing here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Vikings coming to bat in the bottom of the 4th, trailing by a pair of runs, as it'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the order. That's Miles Svelbar, Caden Kroll, and Andres Guzman coming to bat against Ryan Radonovich, who's scattered 3 hits over 3 innings pitched. But he's done a nice job of getting out of some jams. And Valpo with some base running miscues has helped that cause out as well.
If you look at the scoreboard you would think it'd be the opposite with the score.
Right.
Hits.
They have 2 runs, no hits, no errors for Crown Point. We have a hit for Crown Point. I think
so.
That bunt was clearly a hit. And 0-3 and 4 for Valpo. We have 0-3 and 3 for Valpo. We're going to overrule that one. First pitch to Svelbar misses high. He was a strikeout victim back in the first inning. But 2 out of 3 innings, Valpo's gotten the leadoff man aboard and just been unable to do anything.
They're just not taking advantage of their opportunities.
And that's the story of the game. Crown Point is.
They had some silly base running errors.
Yep.
And it's cost them so far.
It's 1-1 after that one was fouled back to the fence. Radonovich gets the sign he likes from Horton, the kick and the pitch. In the turf, 2-1.
We're in the bottom of the 4th, and he's only had 38 pitches so far.
Yeah.
It's a ton of strikes.
Misses that one high, 3-1. We got a fun and exciting weekend on the Region Sports Network coming up for you next weekend. I'll tell you all about it after this pitch. We got some cool, unique stuff coming up for you. There's a strike. It all starts Friday night with coverage from the Dogs and Suds fundraiser at the East Chicago Goodfellas Club, raising money for the East Chicago Athletic Hall of Fame. Lots of interviews with EC sports legends. There's ball 4. Svelbar draws the leadoff walk, so that's 3 out of 4 innings. Leadoff man aboard for the Vikings. So we got some awesome fundraising, historical stuff on Friday. On Saturday, we got boxing for you. 911 Slugfest at the Hammond Civic Center. Police and firefighters going at it, raising money for the Northwest Indiana Cancer Kids Charity Foundation. It's an event put on by Jack Callahan, a legendary region boxing figure.
Are you going to step in the ring a little bit?
Absolutely not.
No? Little celebrity match?
Who would I box?
You versus Rico.
You know what? I don't want to beat up the elderly, so I'm not going to do that.
I understand.
So, no, I will not be boxing, but I'll be there covering it. We have a whole crew out there at the Hammond Civic Center covering that for you. It's going to be a whole lot of fun at the Hammond Civic Center. Tickets are just $15. You can, again, all the proceeds benefit the Northwest Indiana Cancer Kids Charity Foundation, an amazing cause. As here's the 0-1-2 Kroll. But there's more that weekend because that's on Saturday, and then there's Sunday. we're bringing an athletic legend out of retirement. He's not playing, but he's going to commentate as Nate's going to join me. We're going to be at the Sparta Dome for dodgeball coverage. An awesome event put on the Crown Point Fire Department. Police officers and firefighters and other random teams as a pickup throw at first, not in time. From around the region can compete in a dodgeball tournament at the Sparta Dome. Also benefiting Northwest Indiana Cancer Kids Charity for that one as well. It's one of my favorite events of the year to broadcast.
Last year was on. You guys were covering that.
Yeah,
one too.
And Nate's a dodgeball champion. He showed me a picture of his trophy.
That was about 5 or 6 years ago, right when the movie. No, so longer than when the movie came out. Yeah. It was really big, and we actually went a couple times to Chicago where the NADA National Championship.
So there you go. So we're going to bring Nate out as the dodgeball expert and have some dodgeball for you on Saturday. So that's following week, so the 28th, the 29th, and 30th. A fun and different weekend for you on the Region Sports Network. More details on all those events coming up. Pickoff attempt not in time. 2-1 still to Caden Kroll.
That's a little bit different from the new MLB rule. You can only throw over twice.
Right.
So now you can get that bigger lead because if he throws over, you automatically get second.
Did you see, and I'll ask you after this pitch, one of the weird rules MLB is considering fouled out of play. They're trying it in the Atlantic League.
Okay.
That if your starting pitcher does not make it through 5 innings, when you take him out, you also lose your DH.
What does that do?
I think it's to prevent the openers.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either, because what if your guy gets shelled in the first? That one misses low. The count is full. So if you give up, 6 runs in the first, you got to pull your starter.
There goes
and
your
then
DH.
There goes your DH, so your chances of a comeback are slim to none.
I don't mind the bigger bases.
No, I like the pitch clock. Swing and a miss. Kroll goes down on strikes for the second time today. Out number 1. No, I think the adjustments this year have been really well done.
I think they're quicker games. There was that one game I saw last week. It was an hour and 57 minutes. Complete 9-inning game.
It's almost like Mark Burley's pitching everything now.
I need the concession sales are tanking a little bit.
Well, is it Philly or the Mets that they're extending?
There was a handful of them. They're extending it to the 8th inning.
Here's Guzman, ground ball 2 short. Burford to second. Over to first. A beautiful. Oh, they didn't get the out at first?
No, he called him safe.
Ooh. I thought they had him because that was a definite candidate for our Proud Union home play of the game. But Guzman is safe at first. 6'4" fielder's choice. Out number 2. So runner on first. 2 outs for Nate Brumfield. It's 1 for 1 today.
Again, Valpo's putting the ball in play.
Yeah.
They're just not coming through with it.
Pitch misses high, ball 1. Stacey Adams coming up. Make sure we don't have hypothermia up here. We're still good. Radonovich gets the sign from Horton. Kick and the pitch popped up. Out of play.
Heads up.
Oh. Come on, Mike. You're young. You could have made that play.
There's $8 sitting on the track right now.
Is that what they cost per baseball? Wow. Bag of popcorn you get in return. It's a pretty nice deal. Do they still do that?
No, I don't know if Valpo does.
Snow cone, bag of popcorn, candy bar, something. The 1-1 misses inside, 2-1. This next pitch would be pitch number 52 for Ryan Radonovich. I love how they have the pitch count on the scoreboard here. It makes our job a lot easier. We're not trying to guesstimate the pitch count.
Neither team has someone in the bullpen either.
No, both pitchers are throwing really. I mean, I know Kroll's given up 2 runs, but it's been more, mistakes and hit batters and,
Some errors.
right. Crown Point still only has the 1 hit, and that was on a bunt single.
Give or take.
Or an error, depending on how you want to score it. The 3-run from Radanovic. Swing and a miss. Count is full. He's only issued 1 free pass today, and that was earlier here in this inning. You can see his pace is picking up a little bit. I think he's cold out there, too. 3-2 fly ball hit to shallow center. It's going to be the second baseman retreating on, and he's going to drop the ball, scoot over. Ball gets away, and Guzman's going to end up at third. Brumfield at second.
I honestly think,
on the
though,
E4.
He thought that was just going to be a routine catch. He wasn't running hard.
Right.
If he's running hard, he scores.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised they held him up because the ball was still in center field.
I think he was kind of shocked, too, that it dropped as well.
Yeah.
But if he's running hard, he scores right there.
So for Valpo, 1 hit here ties the game as we got a courtesy runner coming in. It will be number 1, Philip Amons. Coming back in 2-run for Brumfield. Max Ream now can tie this ball game up with 1 swing of the at-bat. Or an impressive swing of the at-bat. He can give Valpo the lead, but it would take a shot to get out of here tonight.
This game is going to come down to who makes the least. Again, I said earlier, the least amount of errors.
Misses low. We've seen a combined 4 of them here in tonight's action. High 2-0. Should Ream keep the inning alive, Ian Wilson, who's 1 for 1 on the day, would come up. From Radanovic. Just gets a piece of it, foul, so 2-1 now the count. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in here on a Tuesday night. Swing, get a miss at that high fastball, 2-2. And Radanovic one strike away from getting out of this. We've seen some pitchers walk the tightrope here tonight, Nate.
Yeah, they're just going at it, and it all depends on that strike zone.
2-2 misses way high, 3-2. It's been a pretty consistent zone tonight.
I agree.
And that's all you can ask for.
Both ways.
See, look, we can praise Larry when he deserves it.
No, he's doing a really good job.
We got a final Strike and Ventil hometown scoreboard for you from Lake Central. The Indians beat LaPorte 5-0. Griffin Tobias throws a 2-hit shutout for LC. 3-2 is low. Ball 4. Second free pass issued this inning by Ryan Radanovic, and that loads the bases with 2 outs for Ian Wilson, who's single so far in this ballgame, his only plate appearance. That led off the third.
We've seen it well. Big time in this game. This could be, again, Crown Point, big momentum here.
And what we just talked about, Radanovic hasn't thrown a lot of pitches. This next one's going to be number 61. That count is obviously always is going to go higher, but it's going up big time this inning. As he can't find the strike zone now, it's 1-0.
Usually that second, third time through.
Right. And does the stark change in temperature affect the guy, the grip on the ball as much or not?
No. I mean, you're throwing early, you're fine. Mm-hmm. He's got no sleeves on, man.
That's true. Swing, miss, 1-1. The 1-1 from Radanovic. Strike 2 swinging. And once again, he's 1 strike away from getting out of this without giving up a single run.
He's picking up his momentum, too.
Right. He's ready to throw. He's waiting on Wilson now. And we kind of saw him get out of that flow just a little bit ago. The 1-2 inside. Count even at 2-2.
Base hit should score 2.
The 2-2. Bounces in the dirt, in the turf. Nice block by Horton there. I'm still going to say dirt. I don't care.
The big part with a good pitcher is a great catcher.
Right.
If you don't have them blocking those balls, that makes you look really good.
Here's a huge pitch here in this ballgame. 3-2. Runners take off. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and Radanovic deftly walks the tightrope and gets out of it in the inning. There were no runs on no hits. There was an error, and 3 runners left on base. Mark that one down. Mark that as a potential Broward Union home play of the game. That strikeout there with the bases loaded, 2 outs. We're through 4 complete. Crown Point 2, Valpo nothing. You're watching high school baseball on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. It's the top of the order for Bulldogs here in the 5th inning. That's Luke Burford, Blake Sabow, and Austin Leeming. Against Caden Crow. That can't feel good. That's the 4th hitter he's pitched, hitter he has hit tonight.
And I don't care. It's cold. That hurts.
Even if it was warm, that would hurt. I'm sorry. So Burford gets on to lead off the 5th. I'm sure he'd rather pick up a hit than be hit, but hey, if any way you can help your team expand their 2-run lead.
I'm still surprised Valpo doesn't have anybody warming up in the bullpen. With it this chilly, it's going to take some time for someone to get loose. You can't just, I'm going to throw 5 and be ready.
Brings up Blake Sabow. He is 0 for 2, grounded into a double play his last time up. Misses low, the count even at 1-1. Crown Point looks like they got somebody at least stretching down there.
Again, it's going to take some time for someone to get loose here. You can't just, you go in.
Pitch number 60. Oh, never mind. The next pitch will be pitch number 65 for Caden Kroll. Crown Point leads here in the top of the 5th. They have 2 runs on 1 hit and an error. Valpo, no runs on 3 hits and 3 errors. There's a strike. I guess he went around. I don't think that caught part of the zone. I think he went.
Yeah, I think he went around. Good call. Got a little mesh screen in front of us that's kind of deceiving a little bit.
Lights in full effect, and I had reason to be excited. They are on. Runner takes off.
Oh.
Fly ball hit to right field. That's going to drop fair. And Burford's going to take the turn and head into third safely. Base hit for Blake Sabow. Runners at the corners, nobody out.
The runner was going on the pitch, but as soon as the ball was hit, he had to freeze because he thought it could have been caught there. So
he didn't just freeze. He started heading back to first.
Yeah. So he had to wait and saw it was down, then he can go.
Second hit of the ball game for the Bulldogs. That puts runners at the corners for Austin Leeming. 0 for 2. Grounded out to second his last time up. That ended the 3rd inning. First pitch swinging comes up empty. Strike 1.
Coach was not happy. I think he missed a sign there.
Yeah, Steve Strayer is going to come down and talk to him. And here we can tell Coach Strayer not exactly thrilled.
Also, it could have been he swung at a ball.
That's true. He's got a couple things maybe he's not happy about.
Yeah. So Valpo's got someone in the pen working. We got
What number we got down there? 29? Yep. 29, that's Blake Shudick warming up. As Leeming looks at strike 2.
And step out, interrupt his rhythm.
There's a liner hit to center. That's down, a base hit. RBI single for Austin Leeming. Going to make this a 3-0 ball game. Good piece of hitting there.
Didn't try to do too much with it.
It's Jace Horton going to come to the plate, 0 for 2. Runners on first and second, still nobody out. We'll see if Shudick picks up the tempo a little bit here. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Bulldogs 3 runs on 3 hits. Time called at the plate.
But overall, I don't think Coles have that bad of an outing.
No,
Minus a couple.
He has hit for.
Sure, but I mean, he's keeping them there. Just a lot of errors. And
yeah, 3 errors behind him. A bunt single. Ball gets away from the Crown Point bullpen. Concession stand selling hot chocolate. Not always something you want to hear during baseball season, to be honest.
7:45 at night, and they're selling some hot chocolate.
Fouled out of play, 0-2.
This is a later start time than normal.
Yeah, we started at 6 o'clock today. They did the football ring ceremony at 5. Crown Point had some transportation issues, so we even got started a little bit after 6 o'clock. I did see they played a night game last night at the Steel Yard.
That's always fun to cover those.
It is. Not last night it would have been with the weather the way it was last night.
If you're calling it, you're in the press box. So.
Yeah, but that press box has a big open window and everything.
Can be. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. Yeah,
that would have been
chilly.
It was Hammond Central and was it West Side?
Yikes. It just sounds cold.
I was surprised they played when I saw that. I'm like, all right, I think that was the only game in the region, baseball or softball, that got played.
No, softball, Lake Central played Maryville.
That's true, they did.
At Maryville.
The 1-2 swing and a miss, strike number 3. Horton down on strikes for the second time today, out number 1. Brings up Chris Gloff. Singled and scored his last time up.
But it was cold yesterday.
It really was. It snowed for a portion of the day.
There was, track meets and everything was canceled yesterday.
I believe every outdoor event except for that one softball game and the baseball game at the Steel Yard was canceled.
And you're right there on the lake.
Yeah. Because I subscribe to EventLink, follow all the schools and everything, helps me keep track of the schedules. My phone was going crazy yesterday.
Notification.
I was getting constant emails. I thought I was popular for a second, but it was only just schedule change after schedule change.
Oh, that's what it was.
That's all it was. The only personal messages I got were bad news.
Huh.
But that's all right. That forced me to have to work with you.
I'm sorry.
You could have had another broadcast partner tonight. The 0-1 misses outside, 1-1. I like how the student section's still a little bit vocal there for Valpo.
Yeah, they're still hanging around with some blankets on, but they're here.
The 1-1 to Gloff. Nice block there by Brumfield. Make sure the runners do not advance.
Brumfield is doing a really good job of just blocking everything up, and when he has opportunity, he's done a great job of blocking everything.
He's a candidate for that Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. That one fouled. Count even at 2-2. 77 pitches now for Caden Kroll here in the top of the 5th inning. Blake Shudick still warming up in the Valpo pen. Can't see who's in the Crown Point bullpen. 2-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Caden Kroll. Just what the Vikings needed here. So that brings up Connor Cotton.
That's his 9th strikeout of the day.
Wow. Connor Cotton doesn't have an official at-bat. He's been hit by a pitch twice. Third time, I'd start to take it personal. So that one's going to get by Brumfield. Both runners will advance on the wild pitch. So a pair in scoring position for the Bulldogs here with 2 outs. They could really break this game open, Nate.
One swing of the bat, we got a 4-0 game, or sorry, 5-0
5-0
game.
Chopper hit to Kroll, turns, makes the throw to first in time. 1-3 on the putout. Ends the threat in the inning. There were no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th.
We had 1 run.
What's up? Oh, we did have 1 run, excuse me. Thank you. I was even looking at that. 1 run on a couple hits, 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Crown Point up 3-0 here on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Back here at Valparaiso High School, the Vikings coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th. 3 runs, 3 hits, and an error for Crown Point. No runs, 3 hits, 3 errors for the host of Valpo Vikings, Nathan Laird, and Nate Ramian here with you. And do we have a new pitcher for Crown Point? I can't tell through the screen. We do, I think.
21? No,
it's still Radonovich. He looked different through the screen, but
he's getting me with his no sleeves here.
No, it's my old eyes are failing me, man. Radonovich has pitched well for the Bulldogs. He's in line to be the Crowell Company's Lantern Man superhero of the game, one of the definite candidates. It's one of the 3 post-game awards we'll hand out for you. Let's lead things off for the Vikings will be the number 8 hitter, Trevor Fenters. 0 for 1 today with a strikeout.
Fenders had a really good play at first.
He did.
I think it was bases loaded, and he came home with it.
On the chop, he made a leap to get that ball at its high point and fire a strike to home to get the force at home. Saved a run for his team. It's count even to him at 1-1. Radonovich picking up the pace here a little bit. There's a strike. You hear the pop of the glove. 1-2. Pop-up hit to second. Schoonover makes the catch for an easy out, number 1. Brings up DJ Malloy.
At this point, again, with it being cold, just go right at everybody. Make them hit it.
Yeah,
they're all stiff.
Pitch them inside, jam them a little bit. Malloy 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Looks at strike number 1.
With that last ball, that pop-up to the second baseman, it got above the lights. Mm-hmm. And sometimes if it gets above the lights, you lose it for a second.
Right.
And he did have he caught it below his waist there.
Fastball misses high, 1-1. 72 pitches now in the game for Ryan Radonovich. The workhorse for this Crown Point pitching staff. That one gets the inside part of the plate, 1-2. High 2-2 is. You can tell how much these conference games mean. You look at the Crown Point dugout, all the kids are standing up at the railing, they're up the fence. Nobody's sitting back there in the dugout. Sometimes you see that in non-conference games when it's this cold.
You know what, though?
Strike three looking.
Honestly, though, that comes down to Coach Story wouldn't let that happen.
Right.
Everyone's in the game. If you're not, you're on the bus.
Malloy goes down looking for the second time tonight. Back to the top of the order with Trent Gill, who's 1 for 2. As Radonovich is looking for his first inning where he has not let anybody on base.
He's doing a good job of mixing it up, too. He went fastball the last 2 hitters and started Gill off here with a curveball.
In the dirt, 1-1.
A lot of that could be respect as well.
Yeah.
You're not going to hit a fastball. You got to hit something silly here. And that's awesome to have that as a freshman.
Big hack comes up empty, 1-2. Now you can just see already with Gill as a freshman, both offensively and defensively, he's going to be an outstanding player here for Valpo. The 1-2 swing and a miss took something off that one. Strike number 3. Second strikeout of the inning. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the game for Radonovich through 5 complete. And we're going to have a new pitcher for Valpo. We'll tell you all about it on the other side of this timeout. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. New pitcher for the Vikings. It's number 29, Blake Shudick. Nate, you got some numbers.
This is his 3rd appearance of the year. He's only worked 5 innings, given up 5 hits, 6 runs, 3 earned runs. He's walked 3 batters. Got 7 strikeouts, though. ERA of 4.20. He's faced 26 batters. He's only hit 1, though.
Well, that's good. Only hitting the 1, but Caden Kroll hadn't hit any tonight, and he hit 4 in tonight's ball game. 3 runs on 3 hits for Crown Point here on the top of the 6th, and leading things off. Scheduled hitters, it's the 7, 8, 9 hitters. That's Noah Ehrlich, J.J. Johnson, and Caleb Schoonover. Ehrlich with an awkward swing there comes up empty. He's 0 for 2 in today's ball game. Crown Point looks to add some insurance runs here on the top of the 6th. That one misses. 1-1. You could hear the Valpo fans wanted that one. Fans in the dugout, too. Heard some groaning there.
It's a little different pace. That was like a little forkball action.
Fouled back to the fence. Yeah, that one was really...
It was again...
The 0-1 pitch, not just the one he threw, but the 0-1.
It was a good splitter. And it just dropped off, but it must have stayed outside a little bit.
1-2 to Noah Ehrlich.
Coach Babcock's got a little better vantage point than we do.
There one is line to center. It's going to fall in front of Svelbar. Base hit for Noah Ehrlich. Leadoff man aboard for the Bulldogs here in the top of the 6th. 4th hit of the game for Crown Point. And it seems weird to say with where we started, Crown Point now has more hits than Valpo.
Yeah, it took him a little bit to get going.
Yeah.
But with the wildness of Kroll a little bit, it helped out.
Johnson showed bunt, pulled it back, took a strike.
It's hard to bunt a curveball.
Fouled that one, I think, off his foot. He was hopping around a little bit. That can't feel good tonight.
That hurts. Take your time.
0-2 to Johnson. Well, it's 1-1. I guess that first one was a ball. That one misses high.
Strike 2. No
strike 2. Larry rung him up for strike 3, but he had to be reminded. The scoreboard was wrong, so it's now 2-2.
Oh, boy.
So no strikeout there.
He's human.
Three and 2 is that one high. Nobody warming up for Valpo, so it's going to be Shudik's game for a while. That misses low. Ball 4. First 2 aboard for the Bulldogs here at the top of the 6th. They look to add some insurance to this DAC game.
With the DAC going back-to-back days, you don't want to burn a lot of pitchers.
In game 1.
Yeah. I don't know what they have the rest of the week after this.
Right. But you got to go to Crown Point tomorrow.
Yeah. And these are the 2 that matter.
Yeah. As Caleb Schoonover fouls back the bunt attempt.
Coach is not happy about that.
Those fundamentals you have to execute.
That's bunting is just a want to. I don't care. You got to want to do it.
We've seen how many bunt attempts tonight, and Gloff laid down a perfect one.
Yeah.
Other than that, we've seen some from both teams.
Coach Strayer is not going to let him. You scoot up in the box so when you bunt it, it doesn't hit off the home plate.
Mm-hmm.
So it hits that dead zone.
The 0-1 from Shudik. This is high. 1-1. Guzman was charging in hard from the hot corner there.
The goal is to have the pitcher field this.
The 1-1 laid down the first base line.
Oh.
It's fair ball.
It looked like it was rolling foul.
Right.
But
Shudik picked it up.
If you just let it go a minute, he's going to be safe either way. It's either he gets on first or it's a foul ball.
So a bunt single loads the bases with nobody out for the top of the order, and Luke Burford, 0 for 2 today, was hit by a pitch and scored.
So now
in the 5th.
We have fielders, all the infielders are in here, so they're looking to go home. They can't afford any more runs.
No.
They're struggling scoring right now.
They got to keep this 3-run game by any means necessary.
So the catcher turns into a first baseman here. Look to go 4-1.
The 1-0 misses low, 2-0. And like you said, Nate, you got a game tomorrow. You got to save the rest of your arms.
Yeah.
2-0 from Shudik. Misses inside, 3-0.
I say 3-0, you have the take sign here. 3-0, no outs. Yeah, make him throw you a strike.
Taking all the way there, and Shudik does throw him a strike, 3-1. Bases packed with Bulldogs here. As Michael Bradner would say, dogs on the grill. And I yell at him for that. There's ball 4. RBI walk drawn by Luke Burford. Makes this a 4-0 game for Crown Point. And this is almost for Crown Point. For Valpo, kind of death by 1,000 paper cuts. Well, 1 run in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th. So far, 1 here in the 6th. But bases loaded, still nobody out with the heart of the order coming up.
Sure. You usually think you give up 4 hits in a game, you're going to be in the ball game.
Blake Sabah, who singled his last time up, looks at strike 1. Off speed, misses high and outside. Count even at 1-1.
You got to lay off that junk and hit the fastball here.
Yep.
You know what's coming. Don't hit his.
Infield and around the horn.
Yep.
Fly ball hit too shallow right. Wilson charging in. It's going to fall in foul territory. That one hung up there forever.
Yeah, again, it's kind of one of those weird ones, like, we'll see what happens, how the game plays out, but if he catches it, that's going to score a run.
Right.
Drop it, who knows what could happen here.
Austin Leeming on deck. Looks like Valpo's going to get the bullpen going a little bit here. The 1-2. Chopper hits to third. Throw to home to get the force for out number 1. Nice play there by Andres Guzman.
And you still have the same mindset here for the corners, but their middle went back here. Middle got turned to play.
Yeah, you can turn 2 to end the inning with Leeming up to bat. Hot shot to his team's dugout. RBI single back in the 5th. I say back in the 5th like it was a long time ago, that last inning.
Man.
Misses high, 1-1. Ground ball hit too short. Malloy to first. Oh, not in time. Trent Gill's throw to first just a little bit late. Another run will score for the Bulldogs. Good attempt by that Valpo defense. Just not quite quick enough.
It was a good job for the Crown Point Bulldogs there just to put the ball in play and score the run.
5-0 Crown Point here.
Stayed out of 2.
That brings up Jace Horton, who's had a tough day at the plate. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Throw it on 2 second. The throw's going to get away from home, so another Crown Point run will score. I'm a little surprised they threw down to second.
It was kind of a delayed steal, but it was a kind of ground. It's a rough throw.
So another run for Crown Point, and the runner ends up at third. Six nothing Bulldogs. Shallow fly ball to right field. Gill retreats and makes the catch for out number 3. But Crown Point plates 3 runs here in the top of the 6th. They lead Valpo 6-0. Coming up with the bottom half of the inning after this, you're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. Time's running out for the Valparaiso Vikings. They're down to their final 6 outs, and they need 6 runs to get back in this ball game against the Crown Point Bulldogs. Nathan Laird and Nate Rain. Ben Tamara, Justin Cole, Mike DeWine on side as well, doing a great job making sure we look, or at least sound good, and the picture looks good. We're not going to look good. Well, Nate will. I won't.
Nathan will.
Which one is which?
You tell me.
I'm not Nate, I'll tell you that.
Well.
Chris Ramirez is our executive producer. Thanks for joining us here. So Ryan Radonovich comes back out for the bottom of the 6th. He's been impressive tonight for the Bulldogs, Nate.
Yeah, he's been doing a great job of mixing up his pitches, living away, and he's working quick now. So when he's been working quick, it keeps the Valpo hitters off balance, and they're not seeing it well, or I'm not real sure, but he's on. Crown Point's doing a great job of help behind him.
6-5-1 for the Bulldogs, 0-3-3 for Valpo, who's had opportunities in this ballgame. They've had plenty of runners on here in this contest. They just can't come up with that clutch hit, bring somebody around to score.
Yeah, again, a lot of mental errors here. They've had the opportunities, but just not coming through with that big hit. And these are those type of games you learn from as the long season.
Right.
But it goes by so fast. You play so many games, you learn from this that, like, man, we had that opportunity, and to build off it and learn from it for the sectionals and postseason play.
Miles Svelbar leads things off for the Vikings. Looks at the pitch inside. It's the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. That's Svelbar, Kroll, and Guzman. There's a strike. This 2, 3, and 4 hitters are combined 0 for 6, though, for Valpo. They need to get something going here this game with this part of the lineup up, trailing by 6.
Just got to put it in play right now. Make him work a little bit. Call time, step out of the box, break his rhythm up.
Radanovic has thrown 83 pitches in this game. Pitch number 84 is over for a strike. 2-2 the count. Like you said, he's picking up his speed a little bit here. He's ready to go for this 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike number 3. Svelbar down on strike for the second time today.
That is a 10th strikeout of the day.
A real impressive performance for Radanovic. That brings up Cade Kroll, who's got 2 of those strikeouts on his ledger. Fouls the first pitch back to the fence. 0-1.
Again, I think what's making him so effective is he's starting different batters. He's not doing the same thing every time.
Right.
He'll go curveball, he'll go changeup, he'll go fastball. It's not the same thing to every batter, so they can't get in a rhythm.
The 0-1 has popped over behind us.
The football bleachers.
The 0-2. Grounder 2 first. Fielded cleanly by Sebao. Out number 2. Brings up Andres Guzman 0 for 2 today.
Well, so with the way this game's going, Crown Point then can maybe throw someone else if they need to in the bullpen. They don't have to use.
There's a base hit to left.
If they have to go to the pen, they're not using their number 2 or 3. They kind of got a little cushion here.
Radanovic had retired 6 straight hitters before that single. Keeps the inning alive for Nate Broomfield. 1 for 2. There's a ball high in the zone. Above the zone, excuse me. Two and 0.
This happens a lot with younger pitchers that you get 2 outs and you kind of get a little lax.
Right.
You can't get a little lazy here. You got to stay on it and stay with it.
Crown Point's got some activity in their bullpen. Swing and a miss down the right field line.
Double barrel action.
2-1 swing and a miss. 2-2. 92 pitches now for Radanovic. See if he can get one more strike to get out of this inning. There's a line drive to center. Johnson runs in. Does not make the catch. It gets by him. It's going to roll for quite a while. 1 run will score as Guzman rounds third. As Broomfield stands up at third base. The Vikings are on the board. It's 6-1.
Did a good job of hitting the fastball hard. The center fielder made a great effort at it, but they got by him.
And you can feel the crowd start to pick up a little bit. Valpo finally able to get a run on the board tonight. That brings up Max Ream. 0 for 1 with a walk. First pitch to him misses outside.
Is that the first earned run of the season?
Yeah. Swing and a miss, 1-1. A 2-out single followed by a triple. And credit J.J. Johnson in center going all out to try to make that catch and that inning. Gotta love the effort. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Donovich gets his sign from his catcher, Horton. 2-2 gets the inside part of the plate. Strike 3. Valpo does plate 1 run on 2 hits. Or no errors and a runner left on base. We're through 6 complete. Crown Point 6, Valpo 1. You're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. We're here on the top of the 7th. Crown Point coming to bat. For the Bulldogs, they're hoping this is their last time at bat of the evening. It's the 4, 5, and 6 spots in the order. Nope, it's not. I made a mistake there. I did not record that last out. It's 5, 6, and 7 spots in the order. As Chris Gloff will lead things off. I'm always good about recording that last out, except for this time.
It's weird how it's a great problem that Crown Point has that their pitcher has their highest batting average right now, and he's not even hitting.
Ground ball, 2-2. Gill with a diving stop. Gets away from him a little bit. The throw, not in time. Great effort there, though, by Trent Gill to even knock that ball down, recover it, and make that a close play.
Again, that's a Division I athlete right there making a play for his team. Yes, he's a freshman, but he sure doesn't play like one.
So leadoff single for Gloff. Puts a runner on, nobody out for Connor Cotton. He's 0 for 1 today. He's been on base twice, though. He's been hit by a pitch twice. We're going to have a courtesy runner coming in for the designated hitter. Off-speed pitch misses high. Ball 1 to Cotton. 6-1 score here in the top of the 7th inning. 2-0.
Got to find it real quick here. Your defense is making plays behind you, giving max effort. Just let him hit it, man.
2-0's popped up to shallow right field, out of play, foul. Gill again gave another great effort there, though.
He's everywhere.
He is. You can see why they like him down in Bloomington, to get him to commit as a freshman. The 2-1 to Cotton. Fly ball hits to right center. That's going to find that gap and roll for a little bit. Stand-up double for Cotton, and here comes the runner around first, and he's going to get tagged out at the plate. Great relay by the Viking defense to get that courtesy runner. That was number 6. We'll get his name here in a second. That's Tanner Price who got tagged out at the plate. I'm surprised he went.
What a throw by Gill.
Yeah.
He was in a couple steps past into the outfield, He made a laser right to the catcher.
That brings up Noah Ehrlich. 1 for 3.
But again, Coach, you got to send him there. You got to have
be aggressive.
You got to have 2 perfect throws to get him out of home.
Right.
And outfield had a great relay there. If that's not a good throw home, he's safe. And he was hustling.
The 1-1 misses inside. 2-1. Six to 1 our score here, top of the 7th inning. Crown Point leads. Ehrlich fouls that one back, 2-2. Is hit. Nice stop there by the shortstop. He's got no play. But DJ Malloy, with a great effort to keep that one in the infield, keep the runner at third.
If he doesn't stop that scores a run.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a saving play there.
Ehrlich's second hit of the evening. That brings up J.J. Johnson. Hit by a pitch and scored in the third. Sacrifice fly RBI in the fourth. Drew a walk his last time up. Had some production out of the number 8 spot, especially for a kid who's struggling batting average-wise this year.
Yeah, again, when you get anything out of the bottom 3 or 4, it makes life a lot better.
Fouled out of play, 0-1. 6 runs on 8 hits and an error for Crown Point, 1, 5, and 3 for Valpo.
I know they play different sports, but when you have 2 guys that are the floor generals of other sports down there, they're just gamers.
Right. Fly ball hit to center field. Svelbar camps underneath it. Makes the catch. Here comes the throw home. It's got to get cut off as Cotton scores. Makes it 7-1. Bulldogs sack fly RBI for J.J. Johnson, his second of the night.
They're appealing this. He left early.
Yeah, I was wondering. So don't put that in your scorebook. The runner did leave early. That makes it 6-1. We're going to take that run off the board. That's a good call there. I saw him. He either got a great jump or he left early, and home plate umpire Larry Babcock said he went early.
Yeah.
So 6-1 our scores. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. We're back with maybe the final half inning, or unless Valpo can play 5 runs to keep this one alive. After this, you're watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town. The Vikings need 5 to tie, 6 to walk this one off here against Ryan Radonovich, who's given up his first earned run of the season in tonight's ball game. That came last inning. It's 6-1 Bulldogs here. Valpo coming to bat. It's the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Ian Wilson leads things off. He's 1 for 2. Radonovich and pitch number 100 still throwing some heat.
He's cruising right now. He's in a groove.
Stay with us immediately after this half inning. Should it be the final half inning, we'll name our 3 award winners for tonight. We're not even going to take a break because it's getting chilly.
They were selling hot chocolate down there.
That's true. And coffee. Inside, 2-1. Got to commend the crowd that has stayed there and has been vocal all night.
It's a big day for the Valpo community.
Absolutely. The football team got their rings earlier tonight. We got a separate video with that. Justin Cole got some field level video we'll present to you guys as well. There's a strike, 3-2. Talked to some of the players, the captains, and Coach Marshall earlier on this broadcast. 3-2, swing and a miss, strike 3.
Coach I think he had a really good message of this really closes the book on last year. It's time to move on.
Strikeout number 12, and I don't think he said closed book. I think he's slamming the book shut.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, he said he was slamming it closed. That brings up Trevor Fenters.
And they bring back a lot of their core.
Yeah. I believe 16 starters coming back. It's now 1-1.
Both teams bring back a lot, and they're going to be – that's why the DSC is so fun.
It's gonna be fun this year with new coaches at Portage and Michigan City. Rory Richards, new coach of the Portage Indians. It's glad to see him with a head coaching job once again. 3-1 as that one misses high. Cody French did some nice things at Calumet, taking over at Michigan City for Phil Mason, who left for Griffith. The 3-1's over for strike number 2. Swing and a miss on the high heat. Crown Point is 1 out away from picking up the win in this first matchup against Valpo here on the season. They will play again tomorrow.
I got it for that's his 13th strikeout of the night.
Woo. Brings up DJ Malloy, who struck out looking twice. For him, you just got to go up swinging the bat. You can't go 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts looking.
Just touch it.
First pitch is a ball. It's inside, 2-0. Pitch 114 coming up for Ryan Radonovich. 3-0 as that one misses inside. There's a strike, 3-1. The velocity still at 115 pitches has been impressive.
Yeah, he's still pumping it.
There's strike 2. And he got the ball. He's ready to go. He's not wearing sleeves, so he's freezing. Swing and a miss, strike number 3. Strikeout number 14 for Ryan Radonovich. And Crown Point gets the win 6-1. Impressive performance on the hill for him today. He had just 17, I say just, but in 15 innings pitched coming into tonight, he had 17 strikeouts. He almost doubles that total tonight, Nate.
Yeah, he was in a rhythm tonight all night, cruising. He mixed up his pitches really well. Again, he wasn't living with the fastball first always, doing curveball, changeup, mixing in, out, doing a really good job.
So let's, speaking of him and his performance, let's name our Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. That's brought to you by the Crowell Companies. They're the insurance superheroes and are proud to recognize the superheroes on the baseball diamond. We just talked about them.
Yeah, he had 14 strikeouts tonight, was in command the whole time. His defense was great behind him, and that is why he was the player of the game tonight with his 14 strikeouts.
That's Ryan Radonovich, our Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the game. Now we're going to name our IKORCC, our proud union home play of the game, brought to you by the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters, and it's 1 of 14 for Radonovich. Back in the 4th inning, Crown Point up
3-0.
3-0 at that point. Excuse me, it was only 2-0 at that point.
Okay, 2-0.
Yeah, it was 2-0 at that point. Valpo with the bases loaded, 2 outs, and Radonovich with a big strikeout of Ian Wilson to end the inning.
Yeah, again, he was in control all night. Even though it sounds wild, they showed up late. They said all their time to get. That's why he's up there with one of the best pitchers in the DAC this year.
Yeah, an outstanding performance for him tonight. He gets the Superhero Lantern Man Superhero of the game, and also that big Proud Union home play of the game brought to you by the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Build your future at IKORCC.com. And finally, the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn.
Here's the catcher for Valpo, Mr. Brumfield here. He had 2 hits, a triple, and the RBI for Valparaiso tonight, and doing a really good job behind the plate of blocking everything and just being that general behind the plate for the Vikings.
That wall behind the plate for Valpo as well on a night where the pitching wasn't top-notch for Valpo. He did a good job defensively and offensively helping keep his team in the game. That is Nate Broomfield, the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game. Our executive producer is Chris Ramirez. Our crew tonight doing an outstanding job here in the elements. My broadcast partner, Nate Ramian. Ben Tamara on the camera. Justin Cole and Mike Dewan doing the production. Great job as always, gentlemen. I want to thank Stacy Adams, the athletic director here at Valparaiso High School, as well as Don Clark, the assistant AD, for all of their hospitality. Of course, thanks to you, the viewer, watching here tonight, whether it was on Facebook.com/RegionSports, RegionSports.com, YouTube.com/RegionSports, IHSA website. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, spending some of your Tuesday night with us. The final score for the final time, Crown Point 6, Valparaiso 1. This has been Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.